People talk about the modern day as if it's the Dark Ages, but these people who are perhaps non-critical think they're being very critical, think they're being very sceptical. People who are typically conspiracy theorists and like. We're not living in a dark age of information. We're living where people who are ignorant, who've always been there, you know, in some way, shape or form, have been, well, given a platform. They've been given more ability to unionise, to come together, to cooperate, collaborate, share ideas, share bad ideas, share incorrect information, and from that a lot of incorrect opinions exist. But they're still more informed than probably a previous generation of idiots, but they exist. They're not as bad as they might seem, they're not as evil as some might say, they're not living or creating a dark age. Perhaps if they had full influence that would be true, but that could be true of people, say, a few generations ago, who would have considered, you know, mass immigration to the UK to basically be absolutely abhorrent, you know, because I suppose some people still do, but or just simply immigration in general. Actually, we don't need Italians or Irish, etc. But yeah. They've always been ignorant people. There's always been people out there with strong opinions. There's always been people who will jump to conclusions or be convinced of things because they've been told certain things are meant to be the case. And those persons, those individuals, will very often come to the wrong conclusions or be given the wrong conclusions. And from there, they will express them. But instead of it simply being an old man in a cafe or an old man in a pub, sharing his perhaps prejudicial or vaguely stupid views, nowadays it's people in large numbers. And there have been those people in the past. Do not forget that we used to get very large protests, you know, going back only a few decades ago, of the far right. And I do mean the far right, not just simply people who are like, no, I'm a patriot, or no, I'm a soft nationalist or a conservative or whatever. I mean people who were hardcore National Front racists. You don't get that anymore. Not in the same way. You know, some similarities, some different groups, but the ideology has changed, and that's a change fundamentally. But those people always existed. Nowadays it's anti-maskers. I think that's the lesser of evils. We've made progress of a kind. You know, and to get attention, the extreme right organisations, what do they have to do? They have to kind of court the centre ground and the centre right, because it's their only way of remaining relevant. If they just go all out to the extreme, as they would prefer probably, what do they get? They get tiny turnouts. But yeah, those people have always existed in some way, shape or form. You know, we don't like this, we don't like that. We need a scapegoat for this, we need a scapegoat for that. We need something, something to blame for the problems in the world, and we've got this idea of how we can change things, and because we blame this particular group for a particular thing, we're going to say that this group here and this action there will change this problem, etc., 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 whatever the case may be. I mean, you know, that could be the way the Fascist League historically was and the like. But yeah, broadly speaking, things have improved. And now you've got people who are like, I'm not sure if I'll take a jab. I mean, in the grand scale of things, even though it's harmful, or can be, it is minute compared to many of the problems historically. You know, even modern history. So it could be an awful lot worse. In other words, we're not in a dark age.